Hi, this is Tracy with Traces of Inspiration. Today I wanted to cover basically a topic about, priorities as it relates to spouse and or future spouse. Um, a life lesson that I learned in the past is I had an ex who he one day told me, Trace, how are you going to have a husband when you dedicate most of your time to your family and your friends and you don't make time for him? I was very defensive at that time because I'm like, well, he is, my family is important to me, my friends are important to me, and he should just get with the program. But over time, when I've reflected that statement that was made to me, it actually humbled me and it helped me to really consider the validity in his statement. Um, I feel that when we are introducing our spouse or our future spouse into our family, we have to very be mindful of the tone that we are setting, right? Because our family and our friends go off on how we introduce that person or the priority we place on that person. Sometimes I feel that individuals, and I'll speak for myself, that we tend to, like, when we're that go-to person, right? Um, we tend to, someone ends up being placed on the back burner, and prayerfully, it's not your spouse or your future spouse. Um, I know for me, my family, they're so used to me being that person that they rely on for literally everything. And when the spouse would come in the picture, it it disrupted things because I didn't give them as much of my time or my energy because I wanted to place more energy on my relationship. So some of them felt like I abandoned them, or some of them felt like, the spouse could be the threat, when in actuality, no, like your spouse becomes your priority. So it requires me, right? Um, Creating healthy boundaries, helping them to know that, okay, my household with my husband is priority, but it doesn't mean that I'm pushing my family to the back burner. It just means that the priority shifts. So I wanted to create this segment because I just feel like sometimes, husbands or wives, they tend to get caught in the middle of, okay, do I kind of push my family to the side? Do I, push my friends to the side? Or, my spouse should kind of understand that, my family has been a priority all this time. But you have to remember, where will your spouse fit into everything? You know, um, when you left your household and when you got married to your husband or wife, or you're getting married to your future husband or wife, you guys become one, like one flesh. And everything else kind of takes the back seat to that, and not in a negative way. But it is so important to set that tone, for family and friends, and let them know, like, hey, I still love you, I still care about you, but my priority is my household, with my spouse. Um, and in-laws, no one is trying to steal your brother, steal your sister, steal your son, steal your daughter from you. If anything, that spouse wants to be seen as a bonus. The beauty in just unity, the beauty in everyone working cohesively, but then also in-laws, just to realize that your brother, your daughter, your son, or your sister, that, they're making room for that significant person that's in their life, and they're building a family with that person, they're building a life with that person, and they may not be able to attend to you as much as they used to, because they have to make room for their spouse. And there's just nothing wrong with that. And if anything, if they're good to your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, um, count that as a blessing, count that as a bonus, count that as an addition. Um, I mean, hopefully something within my statement or what I said leaves an impact. But 9 times out of 10, the person that's coming into the family, they just want to be seen as a bonus, in addition. They want to bring joy, want to bring light to the family, not be seen as the person who came in to take away your sibling or your son or daughter. Once again, this is Trace with Traces of Inspiration. Be blessed.